This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
Welcome to the Barbados Today Evening Update for Wednesday, June 17. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Thanks for joining us. We begin with developments on the industrial front. The National Union of Public Workers is threatening to take the management of the Barbados Investment and Development Corporation to court over its retrenchment practices. The NUPW claims that the corporation unlawfully forced 13 employees over the age of 60 into early retirement today, one day ahead of a scheduled meeting with the union. The move saw workers walking off the job this afternoon, and one female employee had to be rushed for medical treatment at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital by ambulance.
Monday, Elder Appreciation Day, and this government made a statement saying that they recognize the contribution that elders made to this society. What is happening here? These persons would have made a contribution to society as well, not only to the job, as people often forget, but to the wider society. Their contribution has to come for something. We cannot treat all people who would have given all of their time and effort in an organization like this. And because this situation is existing today, the NUPW will definitely make or take the necessary measures to make sure that this problem is rectified as soon as possible.
That was NUPW President Akani McDowell speaking to reporters. To news from Parliament now, Shadow Minister of Labour and Social Security Dwight Sutherland says the government is waging a war on the working class. The MP for St. George South dismissed the budget, saying Barbadians cannot handle what he described as a political and economic bombing on the part of the government.
This has brought the country to a state of depression, a state of hopelessness that leads to rashness, and the people are at their wits' end as a result of the policies of the Democratic Labour Party. The private sector has been asked to hold strain. Yes, they have held strain. The households have held strain. And you've finally driven the nail in the coffin of the middle-class people in this country. This government has declared war on labour in this country. And like any people in a war zone, and I liken it to war, workers and employees are living in a state of permanent contingency while this government moves from crisis to crisis.
But Industry and Commerce Minister Donville Inniss hits back, defending his government's fiscal package. In his contribution, Minister Inniss zeroed in on the decision to tax cell phone calls, saying the move was one in the right direction.
This is a $32.7 million revenue, yielded from this tax. And the opposition benches and the apologists give the impression that the state has inflicted a $32 million burden on the society. Madam Deputy Speaker, I have already decided that I'm going to talk less on my cell phone. If I can't afford to pay the 0.03 cents per minute for airtime, but then let me be disciplined and talk less. But we're in a society where there's an average of 2 cell phones to every citizen, you know. Which means that there's some people in this society who have 3 and 4 cell phones.
He also hit back at the opposition's criticism on the VAT implemented on sweet drinks.
The sweet and beverage tax. Now the opposition say, oh Lord, $10 billion have been imposed upon Barbadians now who consume soft drinks. But not one of them have talked about the fact that is costing taxpayers almost $60,000 per person per year to provide dialysis services at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital for those who have end-stage renal failure as a result of diabetes. These are the realities, Madam Deputy Speaker, and the realities we have to connect to. So I don't just see a figure here of $10 million. I see another attempt by the government to ensure that Barbadians focus on the preventative aspect of health care. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So if we can instill some discipline in Barbadians by saying to you, consume less of these sugary drinks, because at the end of the day it's going to mean we're going to have a healthier nation, then $10 million in taxation across the platform, to my mind, is not unreasonable.
When opposition MP for Christchurch West, Dr. Maria Agard, took to the floor this afternoon, she accused the government of failing the people. In her contribution, she told the House that Barbadians were hoping for some relief in the budget presented by Finance Minister Chris Sinclair, but instead were told to dig deeper into their pockets.
He boasted that they were able to cut the deficit by half and lower personal income tax, that they repealed the unpopular municipal waste tax, they stabilized our foreign reserves, and they have secured our dollar from devaluation. And he made a promise that they will not default from our debt. In essence, he was implying, like me, Barbados is in fine form. But Madam Deputy Speaker, when you cut away the facade of the gains that he says we have made, and you look at what this budget will do, it is a budget that represents a guillotine that severs the social contract this government has with its people because of the pain that it will inflict on all Barbadians.
To some sports news now, and Clayton's Cola Tonic Notre Dame and Solaris Pinelands can now breathe a sigh of relief after both teams won their encounters and in so doing escaped possible demotion from the ongoing Digicel-sponsored Barbados Football Association's Premier League tournament. Pinelands defeated Pride of Gall Hill 2-1 in the first game played last night at the Wildy St. Michael AstroTurf, while in the final game, Dames got the better of Weymouth Wales 2-0. The win over Wales would have been particularly pleasing because they are currently sitting in second position on 27 points, 2 points behind leaders Rendezvous on 29. Scoring for Pinelands were Arantis Lawrence and Chad Griffith, while Dequan Adamson scored for Gall Hill. Giancarlo Cobham and Antoine Graves scored for the Dames.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Anytime. This is Raspilly, I'm well versatile. Anytime me drop, you know me drop it in a style. Whether raga soca or whether broke wine, the girls can come to me because they know me have the style. Whoopax, you don't know Raspilly the place.
Yeah, people, long time now you want to be a superstar, and right now you got the chance. Because Barbados, they got their superstar crop over competition. All you gotta do is write your lyrics, set up your video, send it into them, and you got a chance to win up to $15,000 in prizes. You know that easy. Yes, I go on Facebook, Barbados Today/Facebook. You go check it out. People got to think they're rolling for you. So do your thing. You don't know. Whoop-packs. Yes, I.
Secure your future. Be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
On the regional scene, police were called in to a Jamaican high school today after a mob of angry adults staged a riot on the school's compound. The move follows yesterday's fatal stabbing of a student by his schoolmate at the institution. According to reports, the mob set a minibus on fire at the school, rained stones on the premises, and mounted high roadblocks to sections of the road that runs through the community. And finally, on the international scene, authorities in the U.S. continue their hunt for 2 escaped prisoners. Officials say they have now widened the search area for convicted killers Richard Matt and David Sweat, who have been on the loose for 12 days now.
Today, the search for escaped inmates Richard Matt and David Sweat will expand and shift to other areas surrounding Dannemora. Personnel are being redeployed to other areas based on information gathered during the investigation. People in the region should expect to see law enforcement in their community as the search expands.
I can tell you right now as well that we have no information that they have been able to leave the area. That being said, it doesn't mean that they haven't been able to escape this area, but we have no information. So therefore, we are concentrating our efforts not only in this vicinity, but throughout the nation and beyond.
And that's our evening updates, but you can join us again tomorrow morning. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadosttoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, our email updates, and like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media and bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. We're also on Channel 101 online TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.